I'm here with the brand new 6th generation Toyota RAV4. This is the XLE Premium. This is one of the lower tiers out there, the entry being the LE, which is not here for me to review, but I will bring it to you guys eventually on the channel, I promise, all right? So I'm gonna tell you what this XLE Premium is like to drive. This is gonna be, like I said, one of the more affordable models in the RAV4 lineup, and it is fully hybrid now. And this is a front wheel drive model, something that couldn't be had previously with the Toyota RAV4 hybrid. Previously, all the hybrids were all-wheel drive. So what is this XLE Premium like to drive? I'll tell you, but first, let's do a quick tour of the vehicle and then we'll get on the road. Underneath the hood, 2.5 liter hybrid system, something that the RAV4 has had for the previous 2 generations, but this is a new generation hybrid. This is a 5th gen hybrid, producing 226 horsepower in this front wheel drive model. If you get all-wheel drive, which is available on this XLE, it's 236 horsepower. You cannot get a plug-in hybrid on this trim level. 40 miles per gallon is gonna be pretty easy to get on these front wheel drive models. I saw anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per gallon in my short test. I'm gonna have to test it a little bit more at home to figure that out. Just a prop stick here, a little pad underneath this light hood, this aluminum hood. All right, but the engine's technically off, the car is on. Let's go ahead and close that. Let's talk about the front end design here. This is what's called the core grade. All right, it doesn't have the fog lights in the corner that, let's say, the Limited would. All right, it doesn't have the fanciest of daytime running lights here like the Limited would, but it still looks pretty fantastic. Standard LED headlights across the grade walk. And right here we have a matte little honeycomb accent, where on the Limited it is more of a like shadow chrome. We have parking sensors on the front on this XLE Premium. You're gonna see a lot of premium features here. Love the Toyota badge, how it's kind of smashed into that front bumper. Real muscular hood. This has really nice dark gray 18-inch wheels, 235 thickness. We step back. All right, we actually have glossy mirrors here with glossy roof rails, but we have more of a matte finish of the wheel arches and undercladding there at the bottom. As we come to the back, RAV4, honestly, it's more upright. It's less aggressively cut in. All right, and that's gonna give us more cargo space. All right, you got some matte finishes going up to the rear spoiler there, and a matte bumper here, but hey, again, rear parking sensors are really, really nice. XLE badge, HEV, there's no all-wheel drive badge back here, obviously, on this particular model. I like how the Toyota badge is very similar to like the Crown lineup. Real small Toyota badge there. RAV4 being the you know, the flex. What do we have underneath? Big muffler, dual exhaust though coming out of that muffler. All right. In the back, we have a 12-volt accessory. That's nice. An LED light. This one has a tonneau cover equipped with it. Seats fold down 60/40. A little hidden storage back here. Folding this up. Nice beefy spare tire. That's what I want to see. Okay, let's close this. This XLE Premium comes with the power lift gate. The base LE does not have it, for example. Backseat, this one is equipped with this beige perforated seat package, or should I say interior trim. Hard touch here, it goes softer here, so the materials are pretty decent here. Armrests need more padding, of course. Get into the back seat, we have vents and 2 15-watt. Toyota let us know there's 15-watt USB-Cs. Matte pockets on each side. Really good legroom, set up for me at over 6 feet tall. Headroom's fantastic. We have a little light above, LED, handles above each door as well. And let's go and get into the front seat. All right, in the front seat, 2 big cup holders here. Love the traditional shifter. Oh, gotta love that on a hybrid. You know, some of the upper trims have just like this little tiny shifter thing. I like this. I'm an old school guy, I love this. All right, we have a standard 12-inch screen. This is even standard on the LE model, just absolutely bonkers. This is also the standard screen. This is a 10.5-inch screen, and it is fantastic. This has the new Toyota software in here. I finally have a quick escape out of my Android Auto, for example. All right, home here, we also have their own built-in navigation. We do have, take this Honda keeps taking this out of their cars, but we do have Sirius XM, which is great. Love the volume knob. The sound system's pretty bad here in this XLE Premium. It gets loud, but it doesn't sound good. All right, pretty tinny. It all comes from up front. It sounds like it doesn't even have rear speakers. All right, so if you want a better sound system, you're gonna have to go up the trim levels. I have a leather wrapped steering wheel. Love the physical buttons on here. The 12-inch screen, it's really easy to cycle through. Different, like I can pull up my Android Auto maps here. It's really nice. I have a compass. All right, what I haven't found yet, and I don't know if the new RAV4 has it or not, I haven't been able to find if there is a hybrid energy monitor, which I don't need, but I really like nerding out over it. And if I'm in a hybrid, I want to see what the energy monitor is telling me with, hey, what's doing what, where's the battery state of charge at, that sort of thing. All right, and if I customize this new screen, yeah, I can move things around, replace media here with my phone, you know, different. So if I do this, for example, and go back to the main screen, all right, I can change my drive modes here. But honestly, you have a drive mode dedicated button here. So and I get some cool graphics as well. Sport mode, custom, I like that. So let's go ahead. I mean, it's cool. I really like the new screen. It's so simple. And that's something Toyota's screens haven't been for a long time. It's quick, it's snappy, it's simple. What else could I ask for? Android Auto works wirelessly, but I do have it plugged in. I have two 45-watt USB-Cs here. I have additional one here. And this does open from each side. You can also take this thing off. So pretty cool little armrest. I have a wireless charger on this trim, a dummy port over here, and then also a ton of under storage there. All right, I can also remove this cup holder segmenter. Comfort, I'll talk more about it when we start driving. I like where my knee sits right here against this door panel. I feel like that was very intentional. So I don't, you know, I like that a lot, to be honest. And that's about, I do have a sunglasses holder, and that's about it. All I want to mention, because I got so much more things to share once we get on the road. So let's buckle up and go for a ride. All right, driving the new redesigned 2026 Toyota RAV4. This is the XLE Premium. This is me moving in the car for the very, very first time. I am so excited to drive the best-selling redesigned Toyota RAV4. I have a power seat here. It is all the way down. I have good visibility. I don't have an auto-dimming rear-view mirror, for example. Don't have auto-dimming side mirrors either. The MID behind the steering wheel is incredible. All right, I haven't played with it. Again, I'll play with it more, as you guys already saw, but my Google Maps is on there from my Android Auto. It is completely synced up. I don't even need, I can just keep my music up here if I want to, and focus more on that. And then my screen here is just the maps, which is great. All right. Immediately I feel that the brakes are much, 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 much more responsive than the previous generation RAV4, and I noticed that to be true with the newest generation 2025 Camry, for example, as well, when they redesigned that. All right, a blind spot monitor here, power mirrors, of course. All right, the turn indicator feels really nice and solid. Again, that brake pedal feels really good. All right, let's go ahead and use a little bit of mild throttle here. Front wheel drive, baby. 226 horsepower. I'm about mid throttle here, and that's 40, and the speed limit's 35. All right, so pretty good so far. Now, what is ride quality? My initial impressions here. Well, ride quality is fine. Okay, it's just fine. It does seem to be better than the previous RAV4. That is for sure. You know what I do like here? I like how low the dash is. That's something you don't realize, you know, when you're maybe touring a car. Once you start driving, the dash sits really low, and it makes me focus more on the road. It feels like I have a little bit more visibility here. All right, so I like that a lot, to be honest. This 10-inch screen, pretty fantastic. Honestly, this is all the screen I would ever need. Now, I don't have much wind noise. I have a little bit more tire noise than maybe I was expecting. So let's put my headlights here on the auto. Let's throw it in the turn. What does this thing handle like now? Oh my gosh, it's so much better. Holy cow. The steering's crazy light. Super light, but razor sharp. What the heck? The RAV4 can handle now, and this is not the GR Sport. Let me take it around here. Wow. that was completely unexpected. Typically the RAV4 really lags behind the competition in its, you know, enthusiast chops. Typically you don't feel, you know, I don't have a lot of connection feeling to the steering wheel, but I do feel like I have a really good idea of where the tires are going. And, you know, it's not the softest ride. It's not luxury by any means, but it is, you know, it's good enough ride quality for the class. But that steering turn-in is really sharp. That really surprised me. And now that I'm just cruising, the engine's on. I have to look to see if the engine's on. That's how quiet it is. This car is incredibly, incredibly quiet. Oh my gosh. Well, should I say from the powertrain perspective, I do have a decent amount of road noise coming through the bottom of the vehicle. Again, perfectly acceptable by the class, but the engine refinement here is on another level. I just put on my blinker because it's a right turn, but I don't need to. How does it handle that much better? That is bonkers. What in the world? That's the biggest surprise. I knew it was going to be quiet. I knew it was going to be smooth from the powertrain department, but the handling here on this is just an XLE. Like, it's not a limited with like the super big 20s, right? This has 18-inch wheels, and typically the bigger wheel size you get, you know, the less sidewall deformation you get. So, you know, the bigger wheels typically provide great handling. No, the handling here is insanely good. Very, very impressive. Love the volume knob, and it has a nice tactile clickiness to it. It's not like as loud as a Honda clicky wheel. Oh, that I just went over some railroad tracks, and it handled that big bump really, really well. Felt nice and firm when I landed, not too squishy. Volume knob in a good spot. Now, it's not too hot. It's 70 degrees right now, so the AC isn't, you know, I can just put it on auto here. I do have manual fan speed right above my volume knob, and I like that I can rest my finger here at the bottom to give me stability here on this kind of tan portion of the dash. All right, so that's really good. Easy and pretty nice clicky buttons here for that climate control. You know, it's not the big rotary dials you had with the previous generation, which is probably better, to be honest, but honestly, this is also really, really good for the class. I mean, I was in a Sportage last week, and it had the touch panel, and it was pretty frustrating at times. Not this. This is very, very intuitive. You know, the fan speed. Ooh, if you press the middle there, it goes ahead and pops up more climate control options. So I'm going ahead and shrink that. So that might be an issue because this button's really close to your fan speed option, but most people are just going to be on auto here. We're going to shrink this back down, Mr. Bicycle. All right, throw it in the turn. All right, let's talk about seat comfort. These are perforated. They are not ventilated. They are heated. The bottom seat cushion's pretty small, and my legs feel really long for it. It's not going to be a Lexus with a thigh extension bottom cushion, for example. These seats, it's hard to say since I just got in them, but are they more comfortable than the Camry? Probably. These seats are probably, it's just a travesty that the Camry's so good, but it has really subpar seat comfort. All right, these are okay. They're a bit firm for my liking. I kind of feel like I'm sitting on top of the seat, but so far it's not that big of a deal. All right, I'm gonna get into the brakes hard here to get a better idea. Fantastic, really linear, nice initial punch. Engine fired up there. Typical Toyota hybrid, you can feel it kind of rumble on, but it's definitely a little bit more subdued than the previous 4th generation hybrid system. Yeah, sounds like a Toyota hybrid when going uphill, but it's definitely quieter, the powertrain, than even something a little bit more expensive than this, and the Toyota Crown Signia, for example. I know I didn't get on camera, but I just accelerated to 51 miles an hour and fully electric. That's insane because I'm not in a plug-in hybrid. That was really, really impressive. and been driving a lot more around 50 miles an hour here. My fuel economy went from 42 and now it's all the way up to like 65. I may have came down from a mountain or something, but like my fuel economy absolutely skyrocketed. All right, let's get into the pedal a bit. Speed limit here is 65. It sounds better than the old one, but it's still there. I'm going 70. It is downhill, but okay, let's talk about wind noise. A little bit around the mirrors, but honestly, like, I'm so used to raising my voice going 70 in most cars. Not an issue here. And the road noise has diminished. It seemed to be a little bit more, or just as noisy from the road at slower speeds as it is at higher speeds. So it's actually a better highway car than I thought it was going to be. So well done, Toyota. Even with the highway speed, highway cruising, it's still very, very good here. All right, I got to get over soon. But yeah, signing out from the XLE Premium RAV4. It is zippy, it's quiet, it's smooth. Comfort's still out, right? I might be a little bit too big for these seats on average, but overall, just hit it out of the park with the ergonomics, hit it out of the park with the brake feel. Slowing down from 70 there, I have a red arrow. Brakes are fantastic, very linear. You don't get any weird hybrid squishiness like you did on the old Toyota hybrids. And just auto brake hold, like I can take my foot off and just relax here. Just very, very impressive. Well done, Toyota. Who would have thought that they would have made the RAV4 actually somewhat fun to drive? And it's just kind of the best of all worlds. It's efficient, it's powerful, it is smooth. Ride quality's okay. That's probably the biggest maybe on the vehicle that I'm not like completely sold on. So ride quality is a little bit firm, but because it's a little bit firmer, it handles a lot better. So it's a little bit of give and a take there. I'm perfectly happy with the amount of road noise and wind noise. It's not too bad. And you know, the ergonomics, like I said, everything in here, the tactile buttons, quick adjustment with the temperature here, the great screens, like, you know, the armrests. They always cheap out on armrests. It's not just Toyota, Honda does it too. They cheap out with the armrests, all right? So that's a bit of a ding, but for the most part, it's a home run. People are gonna love the new Toyota RAV4. Signing out from the XLE. I'll see you guys in my upcoming videos on the Limited, the plug-in hybrid models, the Woodland, etc.